I'm not good on days like that, yesterday or day past day, but I feel it was yesterday. In the morning, even from the night, I was totally filled with some deep fire, to share something. It usually starts like that. I don't know what I want to talk about. Just it comes first with tremendous depth of feeling, and it's full. It was full love, full power, full Holy Spirit presence, full like that. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and there's nobody around, So of course, somehow I started having satsang with emptiness. In the emptiness, I just had to speak it out, and I had this feeling that I was speaking to people all over the world. I don't know, it was just like that. Sometimes these things come, and to the mind they're not convenient at all. It's not like, but this should be really about lunchtime, or maybe this would be a really good message for Christmas or something like this. But 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was like that. And it was so totally full that even after I fell off to sleep, this heat, this beautiful heat, still continued shimmering, and it spilled out a little bit in the daytime. I felt I have to maybe talk about something, and I spoke a few words that came out of that space for a little bit. And then today it was a feeling, maybe I would talk a little bit about Jesus, But then I thought, maybe should I read something from the Bible or something? So I went and looked, and I couldn't find it. It was just not coming, nothing was coming like that. So I felt that I couldn't tell you about Jesus. I can't tell you about Jesus. But I feel I could introduce you to Jesus inside your own heart. Maybe something like that. Because to tell you about something, it feels like it's not here. Like we'll talk about someone who is not here. But when you're here, I don't talk about you. I must talk with you. But because actually I don't perceive Jesus as other, or you may say the Christ consciousness. So, how to speak about this? So I feel the way in which we must speak about Lord Krishna or Ramana or Papaji or Lord Buddha or Lord Christ is only by way of direct experience, not just talking about. Because about turns it the mind, then trips on it. How can I introduce you? How can we be introduced to Christ consciousness? If it is outside of us, if it is other than what we are, then you're going to have to do something extraordinary to reach it. You have to be something other than what you are to reach it also. And you've heard that you can only meet God inside your heart. You can only read, understand, or feel, or experience the Buddha. To read about Buddha, it gives you somehow a sense of the life. Your mind will fill in the rest or something. Imagination is always needed. But how can you meet the Lord of the heart without imagination? So the only way I know is to not be preoccupied with anything else for a moment, or to leave everything else, whatever you may know as else. And what do we call else? Meaning something that you can perceive phenomenally, objectively, whether it is a thought or an object or even imagined, actual, real, or whatever. The senses, anything that you can perceive through the senses or the mind, will for a while be other. Later we can come to see if other is other. So let's leave all those things aside for a moment, because they depend upon your being here first to perceive them, to perceive their presence and their absence. So whatever perceive them must outlast them, meaning that it is not carried away by them, like a space in which they appear and disappear, but the space does not go. If we see someone like Christ from the standpoint of a person, then you'll want to see him as another person. Then you can say yes, and that may be a tremendous experience. To say, oh my God, Ramana or Jesus appeared to me yesterday and we talked and I was completely filled with just the most amazing feelings. And they're still here after the dream is ended. It's like he's in me or something like that. That would be a very powerful encounter. But what if Jesus is even more near than intimacy? What if he is gapless, meaning that there's no separation? Then how would you know? If you can see, either you see everything as only sensations in consciousness, ideas in consciousness, phenomenon, coming and going, and you come to a total understanding that the perceiver of them and them are not the same, especially the perceiver of all of that, the world of thought and time and whatever, that without you, the perceiver, they are not. So you are primary in this. So whatever is seemingly is secondary that comes after you, you leave it. And we can do it now. Don't hold on to any thought or any idea, any desire, anything that you may feel attached to, or even our idea of God or idea of Christ or the Buddha or the scriptures. Right? Hold on to nothing at all, because they come and go. Not even by your will, they come and go. But you are the witness, or something is a witness of their coming and going. Even the idea about yourself comes and goes. What is that that does not come and go? Which requires no effort to be. Requires no imagination. Because imagination is also phenomenal. Then leaving all notions of other and even of I aside. This is the space in which the Christ light appears. The Buddha appears, what is called the Buddha nature. The Christ nature arises in this, not the person only. The person comes through the mind, but the essence arises here in this space. Even your own sense of self arises here and is perceived only in the mind, but the essence is here. In this essential place, this is your Christ space. It is an unshared space. There is not two. To meet, there must be two. Here, there is not two. And even there is not one. It does not come and go. It has no form. Only forms come and go. So rather than reading something about Jesus, or about the Prophet Muhammad, or about Guru Nanak, or Lord Shiva, Lord Ram, Lord Krishna, Ananda Mahima, or Mahavira, or like this, let's be in this place in which even the perceiving of them arises in this place. There is no story here. There is no religion here. There's no philosophy here. There are no persons here. There is no time here. There is neither day nor night here. There's neither you nor me here. There's neither disciple or master here. There's neither heaven or hell here. And yet it is not a sterile space. It is not dead. It is not inert. Imagination is not required. No vehicles are required because there's no distance to cover. It's neither hot nor cold. It's neither in nor out. It's neither above nor below. It's not in the four directions. Your own heart is its temple, you can say. Who are you here? Only here you cannot argue. There are no opinions here. There's nothing to work out. There's nothing to heal. Either this is the most absurd idea, or it's the most natural. Either this is the most strange idea, or it is the most natural. For nothing needs to be done. Even to discover this. Who or what makes this discovery even? And can the discoverer live there? As what? It remains unaffected by the play of the body-mind. No one possesses it. No one can keep it a secret. It cannot be kept. It cannot be lost. It cannot be remembered or forgotten. All these are notions in the mind. Mind itself is a power that arises inside the space, exists inside the space of the self, dissolves inside the space of the self, and nothing happens to the self. Do you need to imagine this? Can you tell a story about this? Is there anything such as AD or DC or BC or anything like this? Is there a period like before Christ or after Christ, or is there history there? And where is there? How far is there? Is it outside of our experience? Is it outside of our being? Who are we? Are we apart from this? So I've given you some clues. It's not anything you can think of. You cannot reach it by imagination. You cannot find it by being super good. You cannot lose it by being super bad. You cannot keep it by any practice. You cannot be you there. Not the you that is of this world. When shall we be there? When is the best time? When is a good time? And is it there? Or is it here and never there? Does it have these boundaries? If you want to meet Christ, the Christ of history, the Buddha of history, then you must either use your imagination, it may appear in some vision, or through imagination. But if you want to meet them as they truly are, this you can do now. I could not find a way of talking about Jesus. I looked through the most easily readable Bible I could find, but I couldn't find the inspiration to talk about Jesus. I couldn't find a story that would be fitting tonight of all the many stories. Some of them I've told you. And I cannot prepare. So on the way down here, we were trying to sketch, even this I didn't know anything about what anything was going to be today, except there seemed there's going to be something here. So what was the program going to be? That maybe we'll have a few carols and then maybe I'll talk about Jesus. And I thought, oh Jesus, I can't, it's not coming like that today. To talk about Jesus is to talk about Jesus. But who wants to meet? Who wants to know? Who wants to be? Who will take that risk? Who has that love? Who has that surrender? Who has that burning, that urge? Who wants to discover that place where Jesus comes from? Where the saints and all beings come from? Can imagination take you there? Is it far, far away beyond the skies, far, far into some distant galaxy? Either it's far, 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 far away, or it's no distance. You choose. If we believe in personhood, then you'll believe very much in the sense of separation, and you'll believe in time and effort, and these have their place also. As long as we conceive of ourselves as a person, there will be things to be done and undone. Something to reach, something to leave, something to fix, something to change, something to become. It's not easy to shake these off. Because these are seeds that sprout very easily in the human consciousness. Where is this place that Jesus returned to, the Buddha returned to? Is it a physical place? If it's a physical place, there will be a physical distance. If it's a non-physical place, what kind of distance will it be? If it's a conceptual place, there will be some conceptual distance. But if it's beyond the mind, if it's beyond time and change and distance and form, where is it then? Is there anything in you like that? Is there any place in you which is beyond time and change and distance and form? Are we now in the domain of imagination now? Or are you still here? I don't want to talk to you about Jesus. I don't want to talk to you about God. I don't want to talk about truth. I don't want to talk about love. It's been enough of that. It's time to go beyond talk. Do we have to wait until you're good enough? Is it possible to escape the domain of good and bad, of you and me? Does such a place exist? All of us suffer from our own mind, our own projections, our own identities. It is this that gives us the sense of separation, of distance. So tonight I don't want to talk to you about anything. If we can find a way where there's no distance to allow you and me, then what is there to talk about then? What keeps you, you, and me, me? Who made this law? Who said it is true? Okay. Om Namah Shivaya.